If you want to see the future of AI, you don't really need a crystal ball. Turns out, you just need to look at the news from a single day. So today, let's unpack how the events of just one day in January 2026 reveal the massive ways AI is rewiring, well, everything, from how we shop to who holds global power. Okay, let me start by asking you something. What if you could just tell your AI assistant, hey, find me the best deal on some new hiking boots for my trip next month, I'm a size 10, and just buy them? I mean, no more endless scrolling, no more having 20 tabs open comparing prices. Well, on this one specific day, January 12th, 2026, that whole futuristic idea, it just kind of snapped into focus. A whole bunch of announcements suddenly connected all the dots, and it showed us exactly how this is all going to work.
And that, right there, brings us to our first big theme, the creation of a totally new kind of digital marketplace, one that's built right inside the AI that you talk to every single day.
So, the first domino to fall? A huge partnership. We're talking two absolute giants, Google and Walmart, teaming up. And the goal? Pretty simple. To let you buy anything from Walmart or Sam's Club without ever having to leave the Gemini chat window. But really, the huge story here isn't just the partnership. It's the tech that makes it all possible. Google also announced something called the Universal Commerce Protocol, or UCP. Think of it like a universal language for shopping. It's a standard that lets any AI agent securely and smoothly handle the entire purchase for you.
So how does it actually work? Well, Google breaks it all down into three pretty simple steps. Your AI helps you with discovery, finding what you need, then consideration, weighing your options, and finally the transaction, the actual purchase. And the UCP, that's the invisible engine that's powering the whole thing.
And of course, there's got to be a business model here, right? On the very same day, Google also rolled out new, hyper-personalized ads for its AI. So if the AI knows you're in a buying cycle, brands can hit you with exclusive deals at that perfect moment of decision. So, and this is the really crucial part, this isn't just about convenience. It is a revolutionary new way to advertise.
Okay, but this whole AI revolution, it's not just happening in our shopping carts. It is way bigger than that. So let's switch gears and look at our next section, which is how all this is building into a high-stakes game of geopolitical chess.
So on that very same day, January 12th, something pretty stunning happened. We heard a surprising admission coming from inside China. Top AI executives went on the record and said they just don't see themselves overtaking the US anytime soon. I mean, that is a huge statement to make in the global AI race. And why the sudden pessimism? Well, they pointed to two big things: a lack of enough local resources and the continued, biting pressure from US restrictions on exporting those advanced semiconductor chips. And those chips, as you know, are basically the lifeblood of AI. And wow, this really paints a clear picture of the US strategy, doesn't it? While one side is facing restrictions, the other is busy building alliances. Also on January 12th, the US moved to bring Qatar and the UAE into its Pax Silica coalition, which is this strategic alliance designed specifically to control and secure the global supply chain for those exact same AI chips. But listen, this isn't just a two-horse race. South Korea's neighbor is out there carving out what you might call a third way. They're pitching their AI cloud services to nations who are a little bit wary of both US and Chinese tech dominance, basically offering these countries a path to what they're calling digital sovereignty.
And you know what? We're already seeing countries start to flex that sovereign muscle. Malaysia decided to join Indonesia in blocking Elon Musk's AI chatbot Grok because of concerns over the kind of content it can generate. It's a perfect example of how this power play isn't just about who has the best chips, it's also about who controls the information.
All right, so we've got a new marketplace, we've got a global power struggle, but what's fueling this entire engine? Well, that brings us to our final section, the absolutely massive river of money that is just pouring into AI. Okay, just to give you a little taste of the scale we're talking about, on this one day, an Israeli startup called Torque, which uses AI for cybersecurity, they raised a staggering $140 million. And that one deal, it valued the company at over $1 billion, a unicorn, just like that. And they were definitely not alone. The money was flowing everywhere, across all kinds of sectors. A company called Takuvi raised $20 million for AI agents that monitor hospital patients. Another, ATG, raised $15 million for an AI wealth management app. So yeah, the investment is seriously broad and... So just how big is this boom in historical terms?
This chart really puts it into perspective for us. As a share of the US economy, you can see the current AI boom is already about half the size of the legendary dot-com bubble, and it's already blown past the US shale boom from a few years back.
So, what's the grand total? In the year leading up to this one day, AI-related firms pulled in a mind-boggling $166.5 billion in capital. That is the highest figure we've seen since the absolute peak of the dot-com era back in 2001.
So why are investors pouring in so much cash? Simple. Performance. Get this. In 2025, AI firms were responsible for an incredible 40% of all the returns in a key bond index. They're not just selling a dream of the future. They are delivering huge financial returns, right here, right now.
So when you just take a step back and look at everything that happened on a single day, a new AI marketplace, a geopolitical chess match for chip supremacy, and a historic flood of investment, it all boils down to one final, really crucial question. With AI rewriting our world so fast, from our shopping carts all the way to global supply chains, who is actually writing the rules for our future?